Ethan was a little afraid of his wife. Sometimes he even wondered himself how such a beautiful, successful, and confident woman could tolerate a simple working man like him, a mechanic. Yet the Harrison family had lived together for 22 years. And truth be told, they lived quite well. Their elder son, Ryan, had just turned 20, and their younger one, Liam, was about to turn 14. In fact, many people in their house, and even in neighboring ones, were somewhat afraid of Ethan's wife, Olivia Grace, but at the same time, they respected her deeply. She was the head of a management company that she herself had founded a few years earlier. At first, acquaintances couldn't understand what united these two so different people, but Olivia had seen something in that shy, red-haired young man who could barely say a word to her. They met by chance, when a flood broke out in the women's dormitory bathroom where Liv lived. It was a day off. No plumber could be found. Ethan, who had come to visit a friend, immediately rushed to help the panicking girls running around with mops and buckets. When the emergency was over, the rescuer was invited for tea. Olivia was clearly the leader among her friends, and she quickly took the lead in her relationship with her future husband as well. Her friends couldn't believe it. She had turned down so many suitors, much more handsome and educated than this redhead, and now she herself was inviting him on a date. But at 20, Olivia already had a sharp mind and a practical sense of life. She reasoned that good looks were useless if a man wasn't serious. Education, she thought, could always be earned later, but honest hands and a faithful heart were worth more. He's reliable, she'd answer her friends who teased her about her henpecked husband. They married right after Olivia graduated. She was hired by a large housing and utilities company that served an entire district. That was where she'd done her internship and started as a junior accountant. Sometime later, Ethan also got a job there as a mechanic. Their family life began in a dorm room provided by the company. Later, they received a one-room apartment where their first son was born. Then the company went bankrupt and split into smaller firms. Olivia became chief accountant in one of them. Around that time, the couple managed to privatize their apartment, later exchanging it, with a little extra cash, for a nice three-room flat. The money came from Ethan's parents, simple village folk who respected their energetic daughter-in-law, though they, too, were a little afraid of her. When Olivia visited Ethan's parents, she always felt uncomfortable, so more often Ethan went alone. Her own parents, however, had entirely disapproved of the marriage. They believed their only daughter had made a mésalliance by marrying that villager. Wealthy and independent, they told her bluntly, we'll help you only when you realize your mistake and get rid of that ballast. But Olivia's character was strong, and so contact with her parents was limited to rare calls and holiday greetings. Years passed. Olivia grew more experienced and confident. Their second son was born red-haired, just like his father and brother. Deep down, she sometimes dreamed of having a daughter, a little golden-haired girl. But the pace of life only grew faster. Business demanded all her time, and Olivia eventually gave up the dream, devoting herself entirely to work. Then the city's administration changed, and new reforms began in the housing sector. New management companies started springing up like mushrooms after the rain. Olivia decided to open her own. She dove headlong into entrepreneurship, leaving the household and children mostly to Ethan. He still worked, though he never rose above shift supervisor. But he wasn't ambitious and never envied his wife's success. Their family lived in peace and understanding. Until one day, something unbelievable happened. Ethan went to visit his aging parents in the village and returned not alone. The entire courtyard seemed to hold its breath as he walked from the car toward their building, holding the hand of a thin, red-haired little girl, about 5 years old. The neighbors on benches fell silent. Young mothers on the playground froze mid-step, holding their strollers. Their hair glowed the same golden color. There could be no doubt they were father and daughter. "Did you hear?" whispered the neighbors. "Grace's husband brought home a daughter from somewhere out there." Olivia said nothing. She opened the door, saw the child, and understood everything without a word. Ethan expected anything, yelling scandal, even divorce, but not silence. Olivia shut herself in the bedroom, didn't come out for dinner, didn't ask who the girl was or how long she'd be staying. It was hardest explaining things to their younger son. The elder